Hi, I'm Jennifer Nicely with Pinnacle Real Estate Academy. I know you guys have heard a little bit about new license law changes in the state of South Carolina, so I am here to explain some of those laws that take place immediately. And when I say immediately, that is late May of 2024. Now, this is the first time ever we have had license law changes where parts of those changes took place immediately. Sometimes they had given you grace periods to complete some of these changes or to work your way into these changes, but this particular license law change, some things are taking place immediately. Some things you have time, even up to 3 years, to implement into your business. So let's get into it. One of the biggest changes you're going to see on a regular daily basis is salespeople are no longer called a salesperson. They are called an associate. Now, this, in my opinion, is fantastic. And it's fantastic because real estate agents aren't salespeople. We don't sit here and shove a house down your throat and make you buy a house. What we do is we facilitate a transaction and make sure that you make one of the best financial decisions of your lifetime. So we weren't salespeople in the first place. So this is a great change. You now are going to be called associates. Brokers will remain brokers. Broker in charge will remain broker in charge. So this is the only license status that changed the title. That has now taken place immediately. So if you have salespersons on your business cards, go ahead and start ordering new business cards because it needs to say associate instead of salesperson. If it says realtor, you're good to go and you can keep it there. Another one of the changes that took place immediately is you now have to have an associate's license 5 years before you can get a broker's license. It used to be 3 years, now it's 5 years. Again, that takes place immediately. If you have already taken a broker's class and you have gotten approved and your application is in, but you haven't taken the state exam, you're still good to go on that. You're grandfathered in. But if you have not taken any broker's classes, you have to make sure you've been licensed for at least 5 years. Another change, if you have taken a pre-licensing course and you never got your license, you kind of just sat back and things got a little busy. In the past, you had 5 years that your certificate was good for, and you could go and retake your state exam within those 5 years and activate your license. That is no longer the case. It is now 3 years. So if you have taken your pre-licensing class in the last 3 years, your certificate is still good to go and take your exam. You will have to apply with the state to do this, but you do not have to come and retake the entire class. Another new law that's taken place is wholesaling. Wholesaling is illegal. The Real Estate Commission does not like wholesaling. They do not want agents to participate in this. You do not have to have a license to practice wholesaling, which we are seeing a lot do. I do not recommend this at all for multiple reasons. That could be its own class. But if you are a licensed real estate agent in the state of South Carolina, you cannot practice wholesaling. That means you cannot go list for other people in a wholesale manner, and it also means that they're going to frown upon you and it's not going to be in your favor when you go in front of the board if you buy a lot of wholesales and flip them. Okay, so be careful with wholesaling. You may want to read the law very closely if that is a practice that you have adopted in the past. Another law that has changed is if you have someone else hold escrow money, let's say an attorney, let's say another real estate firm, you are also going to be responsible for how they handle that money. So I've said this in the past, you want to make sure you know the terms of what that attorney is going to do should there be a dispute. Remember, attorneys and real estate agents, escrow accounts do not have to be treated the same. Attorneys do not have the 4 different ways to release earnest money like real estate agents do. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the real estate agent to make sure that their client is under the utmost protection when having an attorney hold their earnest money. Another law that's going to take place, but this one's going to take place over the next 3 years. These are advertisement rules for teams. If you have a team, please dive into the new license law because there are several changes. One of the changes you may not like is they've taken out the law that says you can't use the word realty, realtor, or real estate. Now, they put this into the law in 2017 and they're now taking it out of the law in 2024, but here's the reason why. The law now states that if you are a team, and let's say Team Jennifer Nicely, it has to have underneath it your firm name. So for example, Team Jennifer Nicely by ABC Realty. Now, it all has to be advertised together, but the key here is your firm name cannot be less than 50% of the size of the team name. Cannot be less than 50% of the size of the team name. Keep in mind, you cannot do acronyms either. You have to do registered names by law. Your franchise or corporation may say you can do an acronym because maybe they're known for that, but the State Real Estate Commission says you cannot. You cannot do acronyms at all. You have to spell out the full name of the firm. Now, these are just some of the changes that have taken place. There are others. Some of them may be important to you. Some of them may not be something you deal with on a daily basis, but please know that there are several rules in place. I'll give you one more before I let you go. Offer rejection forms. Offer rejection forms are required by law on the rejection of the initial offer. If you're countering back and forth and the deal dies, negotiation dies, offer rejection form does not have to be presented. However, if a buyer's agent presents an offer and the seller outright rejects it, they have had to give them an offer rejection form since 2017. But the new law says you have to give it in 48 hours. So please make sure that these time frames are met, that it is given within 48 hours. Now, I'm going to be doing more videos on the new license law that took place in the end of May of 2024. Like I said, some of them were immediate and some of them are expanded over a 3-year term. There are quite a bit of them, but I've given you the highlights of what has changed, of what's going to affect you on a daily basis. If you ever have questions, feel free to reach out to any of us here at Pinnacle Real Estate Academy. We are always here to help.